Benjamin Jealous is running for governor of Maryland. His primary is today, and he is obviously an excellent candidate. He ran the NAACP. He has been involved in politics and policy for a long, long time. He has a lot of support. Bernie Sanders and even Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, two well-regarded senators, are on his side. He has raised a good amount of money because a lot of people believe in him. So the Democratic field, according to Democratic Party logic, should be cleared for him. Remember what they said about Hillary Clinton: clear the field, we have our candidate. But of course they have not. And instead, most of the establishment politicians in Maryland are supporting his opponent. So why? Well, let's go to former Governor Martin O'Malley. He says, we need someone with executive experience. What do you mean? He was the president of the NAACP for 5 years. What about that is not executive experience? It's not like his opponent was governor before, so O'Malley can't be talking about specifically executive experience in a governor's office. So are you discounting all the work that he did at the NAACP? And by all accounts, he did wonderful work there and was highly praised for it and led the successful management of that organization? No, that's not why they're opposed to Benjamin Jealous. They're opposed to him because he supported Bernie Sanders and he's an actual progressive. More quotes. His opponent says, it's easy to say stuff if you've never actually had to run a government. Okay, I understand that you were a legislator, but you never ran a government either. You were never governor of any state. But why does he say that? Because for establishment Democrats, the idea of a progressive running something, they find it ridiculous. They're like, you guys, you don't know how to run anything. The way you run things is you just bow your head and say that everything is impossible, so we shouldn't bother. Now, if you think that's hyperbole, hold, because let's give you a description of what his opponent actually thinks. So this is from Kevin Robillard at HuffPost. He explains Baker, that's Benjamin Jealous' opponent, told HuffPost he and Jealous don't have different philosophies. Well, that sounds good, that's positive. But he also said many of Jealous' most progressive goals were impossible or poorly planned. Asked if he supported a single-payer healthcare plan, Baker responded with a simple no. So wait a minute, that means you do have different policies. You do. Or you say, I have the same policies as Benjamin Jealous, I just don't plan to do them. Well, thank you for the admission, we really appreciate it. Isn't that amazing? It's impossible. I have the same priorities, but I'm never gonna do them. I'm gonna tell you ahead of time, I'm going to do nothing because it's impossible. And almost every politician in Maryland, outside of the progressives, are like, yeah, the guy who wants to do nothing, that guy knows how to govern. There you go. You get in there, you sit on your ass, and you make sure the Democratic voters then are completely enervated and they have no energy to go fight Republicans, and that'll be a winning strategy. Gee, I wonder how we got to have a Republican governor of Maryland in the first place, what should be a very blue state. Baker continues, direct quote. He says, Ben just shows you he has no experience in actually running a government. How do you pay for that, referring to single payer? He's just throwing out a lot of stuff because he doesn't understand the budget. Now, on Rebel Headquarters, which is the show that follows the Young Turks on tyt.com/live, I have talked to several people who explain how single payer would work on a state level. Recently, I had a conversation with a legislator in New York, and he explained how actually it saves money. But did Baker and the establishment politicians in Maryland or elsewhere bother to do that analysis? No, it's impossible, we're just not gonna do it. No, you don't understand the budget. And you don't understand that we actually want someone to try to bring change. I know that's very complicated for the establishment. Adrienne Jones, a Maryland delegate, when asked, why do you support Baker over Jealous when Jealous has this sterling record? Well, had a quote that is perfectly emblematic. Quote, he's one of us. Yeah, that's right. His opponent is one of the standard politicians, standard establishment Democrats. So I actually loved one response that Ben Jealous had here, and I wanted to share that with you. He said, defeating Hogan, that's the Republican governor of Maryland, is about turning out Democrats. If this was about persuading moderate Republicans to vote for a Democrat, I'd be the wrong choice. Now see, that's bold. He says, if you're looking for someone to be a centrist that is really close to the Republicans, to try to get suburban Republican voters, which is the Democratic Party 101 tactic, he's like, I'm not your guy, because I'm not gonna do that. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna energize our voters. I'm gonna tell them that I actually am going to go for change, and I'm gonna give it my all, and we're actually going to do these policies. You want criminal justice reform? I'm gonna do it. You want single payer? I'm gonna do it. You want somebody to sit on their ass and do nothing? Then you vote for the other guy. You want someone to try to appease Republicans? Then you vote for the other guy. Now that's clear. Second reason why I like that is because if Benjamin Jealous wins tonight, and you got to go out and vote, the polls have not closed yet. If you're watching this show live, the polls close at 8 o'clock, okay? So understand that we've got a case to make. We believe that a progressive candidate that actually fights back against Republicans has a better chance of winning. I know every knucklehead in Washington goes, no, you have to kiss the Republican ass to try to win as a Democrat. I think that is monumentally wrong. So let's actually get a progressive with excellent credentials to run for the governorship of Maryland, and let's test that theory. Or you could run a standard Democrat and then as usual, lose in a state that you have no business losing in. We have tried their way 1,000 times. Let's try our way this time. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.